Friday morning, Kennedy Dragons. We are glad that you are here. Today is Friday. It is February 18th, 2022. It's the 117th day of school. It's Friday, which means Dad Joke Friday. So here we go. Here's our first one. What type of tree fits in your hand? Palm tree. I'm Mr. Butcher. It's my job to keep you safe so that you can show us how excellent you can be. Hopefully you've left your average at home or on the bus and you are ready, which means being in the right place at the right time, the right stuff, to have a respectful, which means treating others the way you want to be treated, and responsible, which means doing your job with a smile on your face and giving perfect effort. Day. Speaking of responsibilities, our very first responsibility is to be ready to show respect for the rights that we have in this country and at this school. We do this by daily saying the Pledge of Allegiance, our school pledge, as well as doing our moment of silence. In order to show respect, how do we do that? We stop what we're doing, stand up tall, put our hand over our hearts like this. We say the pledge loudly, clearly, and with pride. We're 117 days in. You guys should know these by now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the Kennedy School Pledge. I pledge myself as a Kennedy Dragon to be ready for the day ahead of me. I'll be respectful of myself, my teachers, and all others I meet throughout the day. I promise to be responsible for myself, my actions, and my learning. I'll work my hardest to be the best dragon I can be. Our second responsibility that we have every day is to keep each other safe by slowing down the spread of germs. We can do this by frequently washing our hands. When we wash our hands, we want to use soap and water. But if we don't have access to a sink, an alcohol-based hand sanitizer would be sufficient, but washing your hands with soap and water is always better. When we wash our hands, we want to get all parts of our hands, the palms of our hands, the backs of our hands, our fingertips and in between our fingers, our wrists, and our thumbs. When we wash our hands, we want to do it for at least 20 seconds. Let's model what good hand washing looks like now. Get the palms of your hands. Get the back of your hand. Get the back of your other hand. Get in between your fingers. Get your fingertips. Get your other set of fingertips. Get your thumb. Get your other thumb. Get your wrist. And get your other wrist. And now your hands should be nice and clean. Okay, now that we've done our pledges, we've done our moment of silence, we've also done our hand washing, it's time to show respect for those that have birthdays today, as well as over the weekend. Happy birthday today to Jalen Burhos, who's 10, Jekalia Tagnan is 9, and Miss Hickson has a birthday as well. On Saturday, Madison Harvey will turn 8, and Brianna Jimenez will turn 7. We'll make sure you guys get your birthday ribbon. Our next responsibility is to make our lunch choice. It's Friday, so of course, we're having some kind of pizza. Today, it's French bread pizza, fresh baby carrots, corn on the cob, and fresh fruit. If you do not want French bread pizza, you can always get PB&J or yogurt and muffin. Time for our second dad joke. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta. The month of February is Black History Month, so each day during the month of February, we will bring you some interesting facts about a famous African American who had a great impact on our country and our world. Today, this is one of my favorites, is Louis Armstrong, also known as Satchmo. Louis Armstrong, nicknamed Satchmo or Pops, was an American jazz trumpeter and singer from New Orleans, Louisiana. He sang the blues and played the trumpet and the cornet. He was famous in many countries. He was also known for his good singing voice. Armstrong won many awards during his career. Armstrong was born and raised in New Orleans, coming to prominence in the 1920s as an inventive trumpet and cornet player. Armstrong was a foundational influence in jazz, shifting the focus of the music from collective improvisation to solo performance. Around 1922, he followed his mentor, Joe King Oliver, to Chicago to play in the Creole Jazz Band. In the Windy City, he networked with other jazz musicians, reconnecting with his friend Bix Beiderbecke, and made new contacts which included Hoagy Carmichael and Lil Hardin. He earned a reputation at cutting contests and moved back to New York in order to join Fletcher Henderson's band. Armstrong was one of the first truly popular African American entertainers to cross over, whose skin color was secondary to his music in an America that was extremely racially divided at the time. He rarely publicly politicized his race, often to the dismay of fellow African Americans, but took a well-publicized stand for desegregation in the Little Rock crisis. His artistry and personality allowed him to access the upper echelons of American society, then highly restricted for black men. He died of a heart attack in July 6, 1971 in Corona, Queens, New York City. Dad joke number 3. What do you call a sleeping bull? A bulldozer. Time for our vocabulary and our writing activity for the week. Here's our picture. I like that a lot of students realize that this is from Dragons Love Tacos. Yesterday we asked you for verbs, words that show action, and today, so here's some sentences that we had for the last 2 days. The little boy, this is from Miss Kinney's class, the little boy and dog are digging a hole to put the spicy salsa in to hide from the dragons. That was from Kaya. We had from Miss Ham's class, Plumpy the dragon is sad. Yesterday was Valentine's Day and no one sent him a valentine. 4 of Plumpy's friends went to his house to check on him. They were feeling bad. They didn't see him on Valentine's Day. They find him asleep on the roof. They can see through the windows that his house is filled with tacos. We also had from Miss Moriarty's class, the dragons went to the taco party and ate the tacos. The fat dragon ate a lot of tacos. Robbie poured the spicy salsa in the background. Miss Cole's class, the big dragon was sticking his head in the house and eating the tacos. The other dragons were waiting patiently for their turn to eat the tacos. And Mr. McCoy had the giant dragon sits on the sturdy house to eat the scrumptious tacos. So today it's adjectives, adverbs, as well as prepositional phrases because we're a day short. Adjectives and adverbs are words that describe words. Adjectives describe nouns. Adverbs describe verbs and adjectives. They tell us what kind, which one, how many, to what extent. And also, too, prepositions are words that show relationship between two nouns. So, like the dragon is on the house. So, keep coming up with your great sentences. All right, dad joke number 4. Why are leopards so bad at hide and seek? Because they're always spotted. Today's morning message is on wisdom and making good choices. Many of us dream about having nice things like the newest toys or video games, or maybe even clothes. We might want to live in a bigger house or take fun vacations. These are things that many Americans want. For some, it's the American dream. Listen to this old proverb. Wisdom is better than rubies, and all things that may be desired are not to be compared with it. Having all things in the world are not worth as much as having wisdom. Wisdom is being able to tell the difference between right and wrong, from good and bad. This old proverb is telling us that of all the things that we should wish for, the most important thing is wisdom, the discernment to tell between right and wrong, good and bad. Wisdom is better than rubies and is better than fancy cars or diamond rings. So the next time you're thinking about all the things that you want to have, add wisdom to your list so you can learn to make the wise choices and become the very best person you can be. With something to think about, I'm Mr. Butcher. Make today your masterpiece or not. Remember, the choice is yours. Last dad joke for the week. This one is awesome. How do you deal with the fear of speed bumps? You get over it slowly. All right, there are some times where you're required to wear a mask, like on the bus. You must be wearing your mask on the bus, or if you're quarantining at school because you were exposed to COVID at home or at school. So if you're going to be wearing your mask, let's make sure we're wearing it right over your nose, your mouth, and your chin, tied around your ear so it doesn't fall down. Have a great day. That is all we have for announcements, so please help me.
Me and your teachers keep you safe. That is our job.
And your job is to help us keep you safe.
And you can help us by being a ready, respectful, and responsible student who is focused on graduating in the year.
Because when you are a ready, respectful, and responsible student focused on graduation, you are fully committed to student success. I love you very much. Have a great read aloud of the day. We're still in February, so every one of our read alouds will be a book that has a African American author, or the main characters are African Americans, because we're celebrating Black History Month in February. So we want to bring you a book written by an African American or has an African American as the main character. Today's book is Jazz on a Saturday Night. It's by Leo and Diane Dillon. They wrote and illustrated this book. As I read, I'm going to try to model what good readers do, which is read fluently, which means I'll read the words correctly at a good pace. Not too fast, not too slow, and with expression. As I read, this is a great time for you to practice what good readers do as they're listening, whether it's listening in their head as you're reading it to yourself, or if you're listening to someone else read, is listen for the characters, who or what the story's about. Listen for the setting, where and when the story's taking place. Listen for the sequence of events, what happens first, next, and last. Think about the problem in the story. Think about the solutions in the story. Ask yourself questions. Why did it happen? What just happened? Who did it happen to? What do I think is going to happen next? Because we want you to understand what you're reading. Jazz on a Saturday Night by Leo and Diane Dillon. On stage, the musicians opened their cases, set up their instruments, and took their places. Great pictures here. Spotlights on. The announcer sweeps into sight. You're in for a session of magic tonight. Ladies and gents, what a jam this will be. An evening of jazz immortality. Immortality, that's a big word. The audience hushes. They've worked all week long. It's their time to hear the jazz. Now along comes a song. At first, notes surprise, then they sweeten and rise. Miles Davis on the trumpet, sparks heat up the skies. Toes tapping, hands clapping, now sway left and right, 'cause you move to the music on a Saturday night. Repeat on the beat when Max Roach keeps the heat. On his drums, rhythm thrums, makes you jump in your seat. Jazz is mine, come along, won't be long, play my song. Fills my soul, makes me whole, jazz is mine, I belong. Charlie Parker on the alto sax, don't need a word. Notes fly through the sky on the wings of a bird. Take that tune, shake the moon. John Coltrane on his sax. His sax talks to Charlie's, and Charlie's talks back. You can almost hear the music as you're reading this book. A river of melody sketched in dim light. Catch the excitement on a Saturday night. Thelonious Monk invents on the keys. Does his own thing, not aiming to please. Discordant chords now blend to be pure genius joined in harmony. A guest with guitar, lightning fingers begin. He takes strings for a walk. Strings can talk. Now he's in. The musicians smile with a meeting of eyes. A cool night, a cool note. They all improvise. Improvise just means they're making it up as they go along, just playing off of each other. On bass, Stanley Clark, plucking sweet mellow tones, feels the vibrations deep down in your bones. Boom, 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 boom. Now Ella Fitzgerald sings bebop doo-wop. Can't hold still, get our fill, never will, please don't stop. Let your heart go, let it soar like a kite. We explode in applause, and we're on our feet with delight. The curtain is closed, but we still hold the glow. For the beat in our feet, what a treat, time to go. Come again, tell us when, it's all out of sight. Jazz is so cool on a Saturday night. Jazz on a Saturday night. Hopefully you enjoyed.